So welcome to the workout for Bank Holiday Monday. For some of you who don't know, it's Memorial Day. So generally what we look at doing is Murph on Memorial Day. So you haven't done Murph before. Murph is going to be a 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then another mile run. For the format of the workout, you must complete the whole of the mile run before you start the pull-ups. When you get onto the gymnastics elements, the pull-ups, the push-ups, the squats, you can partition those however you want to. Okay, so you could do 1 pull-up, 2 push-ups, 3 squats, 100 times. Or you could do 5, 10, 15, 20 times. You could do 10, 20, 30, 10 times 3. You could also do it the game standard, which is going to be 100 pull-ups, move on to the 200 push-ups, then move on to the 300 squats. It's completely up to you how you partition those. But once you've completed all the gymnastics exercises, you finish with another mile run. Now, for some people, this is going to be a very long, arduous workout. For others, you're going to be completing it in under 30 minutes if you've done this repeatedly and you're at a decent level of fitness. So what we're going to look at is the volume scalings and the RX Plus. If you need to scale down the volume, if you think it's going to take you longer than an hour, we need to look at making sure that you're going to kind of like reduce the amount of volume that you can do. So first thing is we half it and we call it Smurf, which means that you do an 800 meter run and you half the repetitions. So you do 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 150 squats, and then another 800 meter run. If you find that you can do it in under 30 minutes, what we look at doing is increasing the difficulty of the workout. Okay, so if you've done it before, you do it under 30 minutes, or you're pretty certain that you could get it under 30 minutes, we'd look at wearing a weighted vest for that workout. Okay, if you don't have a weighted vest, maybe wearing like a weighted rucksack for the runs, for the push-ups. If you're doing strict pull-ups, that'd be fine as well, but it's going to be very difficult to get it under 30 minutes with strict pull-ups. Another way that we can increase the difficulty of this workout is doing it as game standard. So partitioning it into the 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats sequentially. So you can't break them down into a Cindy style format. The next thing that we're going to look at in terms of scaling is the movement or the exercises that we're going to do based on either availability or in terms of difficulty of the scaling. So let's start with the running. If you don't have anywhere to run, you've got several options that you can do. You could skip if you've got a skipping rope, and we generally say skip for the amount of time that it's going to take you to do a mile run. So if you're looking at a fitness level but you might have an injury of somebody who can do an 8-mile run, you're skipping for 8 minutes. Yep, a little bit boring. Or you could do step-ups for that amount of time. So again, if you're an 8-mile runner, you do 8 minutes of step-ups. Other things, like I say, is if you're just trying to build up your fitness levels at this point, you could do a half the distance and do an 800 meter power walk. So literally just trying to kind of like keep your walking speed as fast as possible as you can throughout it. If you're lucky enough to have availability to a stationary bike, to a rower, or an assault bike, we tend to say for the bikes, we double the distance. So it'd be a 2-mile bike. If it's a rower, it will be a 2K row. For the pull-ups, if you have availability to a full-up pull-up bar, but you do not have availability, you don't have the ability yet to do pull-ups, we'd look at jumping pull-ups. So jumping your chin over the bar, a fairly smooth eccentric on the way down. Again, if we're talking about a door frame pull-up bar, that would be a good one. Or assisted, you could put your feet on the back of on a chair behind you, and then you can put so if I go over here, could you imagine my pull-up bar is just in front of me? Yeah, I put my feet behind me on a chair, grab a hold of the pull-up bar and push down on my legs at the same time as I'm pulling up, and that would make it a whole lot easier and more available to do the workout. We could also look at doing rows. So if you have availability for rings or a TRX system or a strap system, you could do rows for that one. Or what we're looking at doing is another one could be bent over rows. So we'd look at doing 100 bent over rows rather than 100 pull-ups. Or another one that somebody suggested, which is a really good idea, just change it for something like hang power cleans. So use a fairly moderate weight. So for the boys, let's say if it was RX, for the boys it would be like 40 kilos, for the girls maybe 30. doing hang power cleans all the way through, or even kettlebell swings would be a good option to do on those. Moving on to the push-ups. If you're struggling with push-ups, you can at this point go to a kneeling push-up, especially if it's going to allow you for a greater work capacity overall. However, if you can if you could do an elevated push-up and keep the speed going, definitely go for the elevated push-up. It's going to allow us for a lot better core control. He says core control is trying to keep that hollow position. And lastly, air squats. Like I say, we shouldn't really be scaling those air squats. If you do have any problems with squats, maybe just kind of like going to a platform and doing a chair squat or a